Namaskar, this is Akhilesh Bhargav again. Welcome to Tidbits on Business and Finance with me. The glamorous, though now tainted, diamond industry of India has been a matter of pride of sort for the nation over the past few decades. It all started with the dynamic and enterprising Palanpuri Jains, who were considered to be the pioneers of the industry and was soon joined by the determined, hardworking, persevering Gujarati Patels and Baniyas, and they together gave a global leadership status to the Indian diamond industry. Today it is estimated that over 90% of the small diamonds in the world are polished, processed and traded by Indian firms. And so is the case with the majority of the large size diamonds, the stones as they are called. India enjoys a global leadership status in the industry. The typical pattern of doing business in this line has been a close-knit family setup, wherein relatives set up in the major diamond centers of the world and set up related entities. So it would be a typical family, a typical diamond family headquartered out of Mumbai and Surat, with family concerns and offices in centers like Antwerp, New York, Hong Kong and now Dubai, manned by relatives and doing a trade between themselves and getting into global trade. It was a typical family-owned business spread all over the world. It got us exports, it got us a leadership status, but it also got us bogus exports, money laundering, round-tripping and hawala transactions. And how did that happen? It happened because of the very nature of the setup. It was a close-knit family system dealing with each other. It was a non-transparent way of working, and in that kind of a setup wherein one entity in one city dealt with another entity in another country, a lot of irregularities, manipulation and wrong transactions came in. So bogus exports came in, and they came in also because the customs authority colluded with the entire mechanism. You could send a bogus export parcel from India to another related party globally, and the industry got into it in a big way, which is where the industry degenerated. Today, sadly, because of these kind of practices, the likes of Jatin Mehta, Nirav Modi, Mehul Chokshi have become the very poster boys of the industry, overshadowing the very strong and established diamond concerns which have not indulged in such practices. But then the industry got degenerated. So it got us exports, it got us bogus exports. It got us foreign investments, it also got us round tripping and hawala. It got us profits, it also got us tax evasion. It also got us rampant money laundering and hawala transactions to launder black money. The diamond industry degenerated, and this degeneration was because of the very opaque nature of the business, wherein one related party in one country was dealing with another, and the transactions were largely secret. The diamond industry over the years has been a pampered lot. It has been pampered by bankers because of the forex earnings, the foreign exchange that it got by way of exports, and also because of the huge employment that it provided. So diamantiers got loans at very liberal terms. They got loans at concessional terms. They got loans with very little capital or margins in the game, and they got large loans with very little collateral security being put in. And this is where it got misused. Diamond companies got into bogus exports to keep showing performance of exports and raising more and more funds by way of bank loans against bogus, fraudulent transactions. It was a pampered industry, and it was an industry where soon, because of the increased size of the bogus exports, it soon started collapsing. NPAs came in. In the banks, when the NPAs came in, the initial reaction in the earlier phases was again yet to protect these diamond borrowers. So NPA accounts of diamond borrowers in the earlier times, there used to be defaults even earlier. I remember in 1989 was a spate of diamond defaults. It also happened after another 20 years, and it has happened now in a big way again. But in those days, the NPA accounts were handled in a very soft manner. Diamond defaulters were given time to repay, they were given very liberal restructuring terms, and generally the incidence of NPAs was hidden. But this time, the size of the NPAs from the diamond industry have been very large. They are said to have crossed over 60,000 crores by a conservative estimate. Another estimate says that they are over 1 lakh of crores. And these defaults are led by the likes of Nirav Modi, a default of 13,500 crores, Jatin Mehta of Winsome Diamonds, a default of over 6,000 crores, and there are many others. So this round of default of NPAs has now changed the entire way in which bankers deal with the diamond industry. No longer are they a pampered lot, and the terms of lending of banks for the diamond industry have now become very stringent, and rightly so. Banks are not willing to fund transactions of the diamond business which are between related parties. They are not willing to take a diamond exposure beyond 1,000 crores. The per account, the margin money, the amount of capital that a diamond borrower has to put in has shot up, and so have shot up the requirements of collateral security. Rating norms for diamond borrowers have been made stringent, very stringent. They are being forced to corporatize. They are not being allowed to operate as partnership firms. And if they do, the terms of lending are very, very stringent. And where they corporatize, their tax liabilities have actually shot up. So the diamond industries have got it upon themselves. It has degenerated because of all that, all the manipulation that was done by the wrong elements in the industry, and the industry today suffers. It has already suffered a lot in the past few years because of the introduction of the lab cultured diamond, CVD as it is called in the industry parlance. The fortunes of the industry have come down, and they will now nosedive further, because one of the most popular means of raising money for the diamond industry, which is bank loans, is not easy to get anymore. Terms have become very strict, and we think it is for the better. The borrowers cannot be allowed to cheat bankers, even if they get foreign exchange in the country, even if they are indulged in exports, which now very often the question is, were they genuine exports or were they bogus exports meant for hawala and money laundering? This is Akhilesh Bhargav signing off till we meet again. Namaskar.